we just saw Zion change his body completely. Now, I think this year is probably the year of superstars just changing and looking to make a statement on their team. Now, I don't know specifically why this year, but we've seen guys like Luka Doncic. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and just check it out. I'm gonna put my video right here. But he recently went through a whole body transformation and played in Eurobasket and was arguably the best offensive and defensive player in that Eurobasket league. Now, him heading into the season, he's going to be one of the better players this season. Joel Embiid, I've seen recently, he was playing with VJ Edgecombe, and he looks like he's taking care of his body. Joel Embiid has had a lot of knee injury issues, and I don't know if this is going to help, but he lost a lot of weight. So I feel like him losing a lot of weight is going to help him in the long run. But the thing that's going to change the landscape of this NBA is seeing Zion Williamson be in shape. We are seeing that currently. We saw him in media day just show up and look in great shape, probably the best shape he's ever been in maybe his whole basketball career. He said this is the best he's ever felt since his college days at Duke and high school days. Arguably, Zion Williamson in college was the best collegiate player we've ever seen. Now, I don't think he is, but I'm just saying there's an argument, and he's definitely in that top 10 in terms of one of the best collegiate players we've ever seen play for a one and done player. I'm looking at what the Pelicans are surrounding Zion with. They have Trey Murphy, who's a developing young player who's constantly getting better every year, is looking to push for all-star status. Herb Jones, a guy who's been in top 5 defensive player of the year conversations and consistently is getting better at his offensive game as well. You have guys that they just brought in, like Jordan Poole. He's a guy who is a scoring guard. Even though he played a lot of years in Washington, he consistently averaged around that 20 range with the Washington Wizards. And I don't see why he can't do that with the New Orleans Pelicans, especially if you have a healthy Zion passing him the ball and running the offense. And you're not asking him to run the offense, you're just asking him to score. Then you have guys like Yves Missi, a developing young center. And then they picked up 2 very good draft picks, Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears, who are both players with a lot of upside that people are comparing to just like great NBA players. They compared Fears to Kyrie, even though I don't think he's a Kyrie. But I bring up that example to let you know that Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen are both players that have a lot of upside in the future. Now, with all that being said, this is all dependent on if Zion can be the best player on the Pelicans roster. The Pelicans have a great chance of making the play. They could be a sleeper to make the playoffs in a tough Western Conference. Now, there's a lot of teams they have to beat. There's a lot of teams they have to go through, but this is all depending on Zion. And the reason why I'm buying into this Zion hype currently right now is mainly because of his contract year and the many years he hasn't made the playoffs as a superstar. Now, we consider Zion when he plays a superstar in the NBA, but the problem is he never plays, and that's due to the many injuries he's dealt with. And a lot of those injuries have been a consistent theme because of his weight problems. A lot of his weight contributes to the injuries that he has gotten, like hamstring injuries. He's gotten a foot injury before. I think because he's taking his health seriously now and hasn't made the playoffs, that's one motivating factor to why he's taking his health seriously. And then 2, another reason why he's taking his health seriously is because of his contract. Now, I won't get into the complete details of the contract because I didn't even look myself, but I do know that Zion has to meet a certain weight requirement and also play a certain amount of games in order to make the money he wants to make out of that contract. If he doesn't meet all those requirements, he can lose potentially a lot of money that contract would have given him if he met those requirements. Now, I think if he has that motivating factor, along with the motivating factor of not playing in the playoffs as a superstar, I think those 2 combined has pushed him to be where he's at right now, a healthy player coming into the season. And again, check out one of my videos. I said Zion is the most talented player in the NBA right now. I said this about a year ago. And coming into this season, I believe that to still be the case. We just need to see him healthy. We just need to see him play because every time he does play, he shows us he's a superstar, gives us superstar numbers. And with all of that being said, if Zion can show up and play, this team can be one that's scary. And I'm excited. I'm buying into the hype. I think anyone who's an NBA fan should buy into the hype as well. I've seen recently on an interview, Jeff Teague, or not an interview, but Jeff Teague gave his thoughts about what Zion at his interview and media day and how he said he's the best he's ever felt. And they were more so like negative comments, like you should have been doing this. And there's two sides of the coin with this. I believe, yeah, he should have been doing this long time ago. This is way overdue. But at the same time, I think we have to praise and look optimistic towards a player who's obviously physically showing us that he's putting in the work. Like you can see that Zion is healthy. Physically, you can see that he looks like he's ready to play and he looks like he's in the best shape he's ever been in his life. So I think with that contributing factor alone, we should give Zion his praise and some flowers just for getting in shape because this man, you look at a comparison from when he looked last media day in 2024, it was completely different. He looked like a completely different he looks like a completely different person right now. He looks like he at least lost like 40 pounds. In 2024 media day, he looked like 300 plus pounds. I'm not going to lie. Right now, he looks like he's around like 250, 260-ish. And this is just off the eye test alone. I don't know how much he weighs. They never gave us an exact number. He hasn't given us an exact number yet of how much he weighs. But again, you should be excited about this. You should be excited to see a potential superstar who, coming into the league, was supposed to be handed the keys. Again, this is his own fault. Well, the injuries you can't stop, but in terms of the weight that caused the injuries, some of those injuries he's gotten, he could have stopped. He was supposed to be handed the keys when he got into the league. He was looked at as the face of the league, the next face, like a Steph Curry, like a LeBron. He was supposed to be that guy. But we moved on from him because of the many injuries and from him seeming like he doesn't want to play and a bunch of off the court issues that I won't mention, but that have been like a serious factor of why we don't look at Zion as the face of the league. We look at guys like Victor Wembanyama, Ant-Man. We look at these guys as the future faces of the league. But now that Zion's healthy, it's almost time for him to show us if he can be that face. Again, guys, he's only 25 years of age. Now, he's played 7 seasons, and if he took it way serious beforehand, we would be looking at him in a whole different light. But he still has that chance to be that face because of his talent alone. His talent alone is, again, I think he's the most talented player in this league. So, again, let me know y'all thoughts. If y'all haven't subscribed already, my name's Milos. Go ahead and subscribe. I don't know what you're doing. I'm talking about NBA content. If you're an NBA fan like me, you will love this NBA content we talk about almost weekly. So again, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later. Peace.